Good.
All right, so for our first test, we're going to test for accuracy from short range and long range. The short range will be 15 yards away. As you can see here, we're about 15 yards away from the target. We're going to shoot 40 shots each with each bow to test the accuracy with those. And then we're going to go back for a little long range and go 25 yards, a little bit longer, looks much longer from this distance, and shoot 30 shots with each bow.
Go.
All right, so for the 15-yard test, we're going to be shooting at the silhouette, as Brian told you. A hit will be marked as anywhere within the silhouette's body or below, which would be a leg shot. And we'll mark a kill as a head, neck, or heart shot. For the 25-yard range, we're going to mark a hit as anywhere on the board. If we hit the board, we'll consider that a hit because we're assuming the target will be either running at you or grouped together with other people. A miss, obviously, is anywhere off the board or the barrel.
You're good.
Good shot. All right, so we've completed our short range test, shot 40 arrows with each bow. You can see the silhouette here. We have a few headshots, a few near misses, and a lot of body shots. It was pretty easy once we got the hang of it to shoot from short range, and we'll show you our stats after this video. And our long range test is completed now. 30 shots each bow. Actually, we only shot 20 with the thicker bow because we were not accurate at all. We didn't hit any hits. So here's our silhouette for the long range test. Not as many holes as the short range. A couple headshots, got lucky, and there's actually a few puncture wounds that went through the board. So we got more velocity, but it was less accurate.
So now I'm gonna explain the long range testing and how we did it. We're gonna test each bow for distance. Right now we are at the 25-yard mark from our original targets, and we are going to shoot just down the field as far as possible with each bow, multiple shots. We're going to use simple physics to set a rule that each arrow should be fired at 45 degrees from horizontal to achieve the maximum distance. This is demonstrated right here, roughly. This should provide the longest distance with each shot. We're going to shoot all three bows, the strong, the thin, and the thick, and average them for a final value.
It's a good distance.
Okay, so our long-range shots have just been completed. This is a sample of 3 right now, shot with our medium bow. You can see this arrow here has been placed here earlier today. It represents 50 yards from our targets, so a total of 75 yards from our shooting area. To get the distances of these arrows, we just paced off from this arrow and got a relative distance, which then calculated total distance later. So this arrow here would be just about 50 yards, pacing off to this one, we could say 53 and 55. We shot 6 rounds each with each bow, and averages were taken for the total average distance.
When we were shooting the bow and arrow, we used a couple of safety precautions. We used glove for our left hand to protect our wrist and our thumbs from the string coming in and hitting our hands. And also, we were looking for athletic tape. We couldn't find it, so we used duct tape for when we were pulling the arrow back, so we didn't get blisters. Our fingers were getting pretty ripped up beforehand.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the arrows we used in our study. We used different types of arrows to best represent the types of arrows the Egyptians would shoot, varying sizes and weights. We assumed that the arrows that they'd make wouldn't all be the exact same, and therefore this would well represent our findings. You can see we have a practice arrow with a dull metal tip. This is much thinner than the other arrow used, and it flew much better, much farther in the air. Our other arrows used were hunting arrows, which are thicker and have sharper tips. These are a little heavier. They don't fly as far, but they actually are more accurate up close.